We're live! We're live! It comes on pretty quick live and it's like, bam, been live 10 seconds already. What the hell? What's happening? Crypto fam, happy Thursday. Yeah, I literally just had to look at the phone to make sure it was Thursday. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to Love for Crypto. I'm Scott. Hope you're waking up well. Hope you're waking up feeling happy. I had a little bit of a lie in me today. You might have noticed it's 10:15. Only just got into the back garden. Today I want to talk about global reserve currencies, the IMF, and the actual global RTGS system that they all like to talk about. We're heading into a time where there is going to be no fiat currencies in the SDR basket. None of them. Interesting when you put it like that, when you think how it's going to go. They're not going to be there. So we've already covered, and everyone who knows the channel knows we've covered the fact that China, morning Alan, we covered the fact that China, the UN, the European Central Banks, the Bank of Russia, everyone has been demanding that we have a global reserve currency that's not tied to a government, that isn't the dollar. If you aren't aware of any of that content that we've shared, if you're kind of new to the channel and are like, well, what's he going on about? I've never seen him share anything like that. Then, where have you been? For starters, morning Dave, XRP dopamine, Lizette is just about to close my eyes. Oh, much appreciate staying up. I was wondering about that. I was going to miss anyone by the time. Chris, me, welcome. Oscar, David, welcome. So anyway, if you just go to Google and put China calls for new reserve currency, you'll start seeing what I mean and what I'm going on about with regards to that. We also know there is a review of the IMF this year. There's a review. Look at Tash there. Oh, I should have shaved that, shouldn't I? I don't like that. There's a review this year of the SDR baskets, and one might ask, well, what happens at a review, Scott? Do you mean that like they're going to change it? They're going to change the rules, they're going to change the legislation, the regulation, they're going to change a currency, they're going to add a currency, they're going to take a currency out. What's the review actually mean? Morning, Steve. Good to see you, pal. I love you, mate. The special drawing rights are supplementary foreign exchange reserve assets defined and maintained by the International Monetary Fund. SDRs are a unit of account for the IMF and not a currency per se. They represent a claim to a currency held by the IMF member countries for which they may be exchanged. SDRs were created in 1969 to supplement a shortfall of preferred foreign exchange reserve assets, namely gold and US dollars. The ISO 4217 currency code for special drawing rights is XDR, and the numeric code is 960. Interesting. If you now want to go and relate that to the ISO 20220 and see how they correspond, feel free. I'm not going to do that in this video, but there's clearly the ISO 4217 currency codes. So they have currency codes and they have ISO. We're in the middle of an ISO migration within the banks now. The XDR on its own is as an ISO code. Do you know what I mean? This is all little things that you could be doing your own little bit of research. Do your own research always, guys. Anywho, it gets interesting with regards to time frames. I said someone was like actually the other day with a bull run, and next summer for me, towards the back end of next summer, and this is partly why. It will start when they give the news, if they give the news. So anyway, let's get to that bit in a minute. SDRs are allocated by the IMF into countries and cannot be held or used by private parties. The number of SDRs in existence was around 21.4 billion XDR in August 2009. During the global financial crisis of 2009, an additional 182.6 billion XDR was allocated to provide liquidity to the global economic system and supplement member countries' official reserves. By October 2014, the number of SDRs in existence was 204 billion XDR. Worth about what, 220 billion, something like that. It's £1.16 per XDR or something. Interesting. We've got 204 billion XDR that's apparently providing global liquidity, but is not providing global liquidity. So that's like 200 billion pounds. What's XRP's market cap again to provide global liquidity? Not enough, if that ain't enough. The value of an XDR is based on a basket of key international currencies reviewed by the IMF every 5 years. The weights assigned to each currency in the XDR basket are adjusted to take into account their current prominence in terms of international trade and national foreign exchange reserves. The review conducted in November 2015, the IMF added, they decided to add the Chinese yuan to the basket. What's interesting is it wasn't effective until the 1st of October 2016. So from November 2015, you knew the yuan was being added. They knew it was being added, but it wasn't actually added or effective until October the next year. So people, that gives you a little bit of perspective to say like, right, well, there's a review at the end of the next year. There's a review at the end of this year for the SDR basket, which I personally think they're going to decide to add XRP. It doesn't mean it's getting added this year then, does it? Because that's not what happened with the Chinese yuan. They decided to add it and added it 9, 10, 11 months later. Extremely interesting. What happens at the end of the year is, we decided to add the XRP to the basket. Does it get a little pump? Does it get above $1 like some people are saying? It's like, I could see it being above $1 at the end of this year. Can you? Interesting. Possibility, probability again, like where's this gonna go? Top of the morning, Oliver, Carl, love you all, Rising Green, love you all. Good morning, everyone. If I'm missing your name, apologies. Link to 6-year interview with David Schwartz. Words on things, only 54 views, probably 35 on mine. Oh, you have got to be. You gotta be shitting me. You gotta be shitting me. I can't copy that and send it myself. A 6-year-old interview with David Schwartz. Damn, Alison, morning, much love. So, will that XRP lie dormant in the IMF? So will that actually have utility use? Aren't the IMF only the last resort? The IMF, yeah, bro, you're right there. Like they're basically there's no one to go above them. Once you get to the World Bank and the IMF and the Bank of International Settlements, there's no one else, mate. There's no one else. The Bank of International Settlements basically the central bank for central banks. The IMF is basically, fucking hell, in layman's terms, you would have to say it's the protector of countries. It's protecting monetary policy on countries to make sure the emerging economies don't fall flat on their ass, and to make sure the current booming economies don't fall flat on their ass. Do you know what I mean? Like, they're basically, there ain't no one really above them, mate, unsure. Once they fail to provide liquidity, who else is there? Right, so basically, at the moment, we all know there's a reserve currency basket. It's the special drawing rights. It has over 200 billion in liquidity in it, and it's not enough. It's not enough. Now, if they need assets of more value, they just do, and they also need assets that can move more, and people not be too worried about how volatile it is. We need them stable. We're talking like their own currency stable. We've had this as well. Nothing stable. I wish people would just stop talking about stable coins and just start saying peg. Well, peg to gold. When it pegged to this, peg to that. Oh, fucking stable. Peg to the dollar. Then, yeah, it's stable to the dollar. It's not, the dollar's not stable. So the currency is not actually stable. It's just stable to the flaming dollar. You know what I mean? It's making me fucking unstable. Hi, digital nomad investor. DNI. It is another warm morning. A lot of IMF oversees the global economy of planet Earth. They have a clean balance sheet too, no debt. So it's, yeah, the global economy of planet Earth, they're basically the protectors of the fucking economies, mate. And it's like, if it goes to shit, you got to blame them, man. You know, no one else. Like, yeah, the bankers and all this are to blame, but who's the ones at the top facilitating it, allowing it, regulating it? The BIS, the World Bank, the IMF. We've seen on the Everest document, if you just Everest Ripple PDF, baby, and just get to I mean, they're all over the gaff now, aren't they? They don't even need the PDF anymore. There's that many people have shared the flaming slides. But I need to find the one that actually says it, man. The one that actually says it. There we go. There we go. So if you go on the Everest document, there's 3 pages like that. The 2 bottom pages have got the central banks on the side and the private enterprise networks on that side. And in the middle there, you've got the XRP ledger in between the commercial banks and the central banks and all the rest of it. And you've actually got, it says right above that there, that is actual global RTGS. Global RTGS, global real-time world settlement, which is, it's the central bank. The IMF is going to hold liquidity within that global RTGS system. The central banks will hold liquidity pools within that RTGS system. Your commercial banks will hold liquidity pools within that RTGS system. And even the order books of your exchanges, your trusted exchanges, your BitMEX, your Binance, your BitTrue, anyone who's trusted within the XRP ledger, got a validator, got a node, they're trusted. They are going to have liquidity pools within that RTGS system. Global RTGS system. So again, what happens that I'm super interested in what happens to the back end of this year with this IMF review. It's pretty much all I'm waiting for this year. What else? There's nothing more important than that, mate, regarding currency and economic stability moving forward, regarding if we're going to keep fiat currencies in the SDR basket for the next 5 years, or, I mean, they've been calling for new reserve currencies that are not pegged to countries. That means down the line, that basket of currencies needs to be full of currencies that are setting standards like XRP, that are not pegged to a country, that are not pegged to a fiat currency, that are not liable to the Triffin's dilemma and all the other problems we see fiat currencies liable to. Offering $1 billion to Ukraine? Nah, mate. Biden's naughty. And the IMF says it stands ready to use its $1 trillion lending capacity to help countries that are struggling with the economic impact of coronavirus. Digital nomad investors. Let's see if they can help me, bro. I'm in dire straits here, mate. I need to get back in work, me soon, or I'm fucked. The world government, the 65-70 trillion in debt, the IMF 1 trillion, won't put a dent in that 65 trillion. They need a value multiplier like XRP can bring them. See, that's interesting, innit? I mean, could the growth of digital assets in the near to long-term future actually remove the global debt? Can we finally pay the Martians? Do you know what I mean? Can we finally pay the Martians back and Earth not be in debt anymore? Do you know what I mean? Earth's in debt to Martians, man. We're even in debt to Martians, reptilians, or fresh air, mate. You fucking tell me, how the fuck does a planet get in debt? Right, we lent money off the moon or some shit. Is it? You mean like debt? Like we've fucking just been knobheads, don't they? Yeah, half of it we just created the fucking debt. Yeah, well, get rid of it then, dickhead. And not your debt. Get rid of my debt first. Don't get rid of your shit. Get rid of the debt that's been pushed on people who shouldn't have really fucking had credit, but was talked into getting credit. You know, the bad fucking lenders. Hey, we've all been bad lenders at times, especially them gamblers. If you like to go to that roulette machine, don't start going getting credit cards. I'm super new to the XRP community, and I'm just wondering if the impending growth of XRP is dependent on gold being reinstated as the standard. No. Don't let anyone tell you that, bro. Don't let anyone tell you that. Do you know what puts value on it? Do you know what the impending growth of XRP is dependent on? Use case. The actual growth. Do you mean value growth or the actual adoption and maturity of the technology? See, this is where people get it twisted. XRP is not really performing. Of course it fucking is. It's the best crypto out there. You've got articles that want to try and tell you that XRP doesn't perform. It's not performing. No, they mean price. They mean the price isn't quite where I expected it to be or wanted it to be. Well, I'm sorry, mate. Well, it's still the fucking best crypto. It's still performing better than any other when it comes to use case wise. But we said this today, the main value is coming on all these currencies. It's coming on it from supply and demand, mate. Make no mistake. Why is diamonds worth so much? Diamonds ain't worth what they're actually worth to me. Like so many carat diamonds not worth fucking 80 grand to me. I'd rather have a house, mate. Or a decent fucking car. Diamonds ain't worth that. Diamonds ain't worth that, mate. But the supply, the demand and the attention on the diamonds, guess what? Makes them fucking worth that, doesn't it? Said yesterday, Bitcoin's your digital diamond, XRP is your digital oil. So it's actual got use cases. It's not just a commodity that will actually gain value in the long run, the more it's used. Actually got a good, decent use case, not only lubricating certain systems and speeding them up, but linking different systems together. You'll use oil in your engine, you'll use it on your bearings, you'll use it on your sockets, you'll use it on your chains. It's not specific to one thing. We use oil to make oil, we use oil to make a hydrocarbon, petrol, gas. It's not just one thing. XRP is a multifunctional digital asset that can be used as oil in the Internet of Value, used as a bridge asset in the RTGS system. The Internet of Value, the first block in the Internet of Value, the first major block, if you ignore all the blocks we're currently getting where we can now send money to each other dead easy and you don't need transfer go and Western Union and all that, if we ignore that block, the very first Internet of Value major block is the global RTGS system, and to be able to ping currencies all over. And I said again yesterday, once the 3 to 5 day pending payments gone out of your bank, once you no longer see that, you buy off Amazon and you paid straight away. You buy contactless on your card and you paid straight away. You're no longer waiting 3 days for money to go anywhere. That's when the first block's down. Expect that block by 2023 with the ISO migration. I'm not saying it ain't gonna come before it. I'm not gonna say you're not gonna see your Amazon pay instantly by next year. I'm just saying I'll be surprised if it's not happened by 2024 post-migration. I think that's what the main part of the migration is actually about, is speeding up that 3 to 5 day pending payment. So how much do you see them holding? Makes sense the price would need to be stable and not a risk of fluctuations. So if they had 50 billion in XRP, but in a bear market they're not down, I think they need about 50 bill, me. I mean 500, sorry, 50. I said 50 bill because you put 50 bill. 500, mate. Well, 200 that they've got now is not enough, is it? Otherwise, why have we had a crisis? Why is there a lack of liquidity and they're still struggling with the debts and all that? Something's going on. They need something else. How much does it have to be? We've spoke about this, Oliver. Spoke about this in the past, mate, but it's a hard one, innit? Go and look at the derivatives at 1.2 quadrillion value. So if you want a bridge asset that's going to be able to bridge anything of value within that 1.2 at any moment, does that pool itself have to match the global pool? Does it need to be 1.2 quadrillion to be able to facilitate the transfer and settlement of 1.2 quadrillion at any moment? Or can we get away with it just being 100 trillion? Do we get bottlenecks then of people queuing up? Forget the bottlenecks, no bottlenecks, no queues. People's talking about, oh, are we going to get away with 100 and only so many transactions per second if it needs 1 million transactions per second? Well, how do you know the system can't group transactions? If any one given second I go to move money from Binance to Wirex, and there's another 1,000 people moving money from Binance to Wirex, ILP can packet all that data, should be able to packet all that data, move it as one transaction to Wirex, and it ping on the other side. This is, I mean, you've heard David Schwartz talk about you'll be going through, you can be multi-hop towards your destination through multiple currencies. Sometimes you might not even know which currencies you use because you're just letting ILP do it for you. You can either choose your own currency or let ILP do it for you. As we've said, if you're choosing, you both have to agree. Letting ILP do it, just going to choose XRP every time. It'll choose the fastest currency every time. If we get the XRP added to the SDR basket at the end of this year and it's actually added by next October, does that mean that within the next 5 years, the rest of the fiat currencies within there will also be replaced with digital currencies like XLM and whatever other competition appears out of woodwork? It's extremely interesting. I feel we're on the brink of it actually turning around, of someone coming out and saying stuff that doesn't turn the general public round into thinking, fucking hell, he means that XRP thing there. That Nobed's been going on about every fucking day on his channel, won't shut up. But they're talking about it now. It's not going to be the point. I don't think it's going to be that ever. But I think it's going to be to a point where, like at the moment, I can show you Mark Carney saying we're opening up our RTGS system to the private sector and they're building the bridges for us and stuff like that. They're innovating and stuff like that. And I can show you that and I can say, look, that's XRP and Ripple. How can you not see that with all the documentation? And someone could still kind of turn around and say, well, it's 90% sure that he is talking about Ripple and XRP there, but because he's not said Ripple, XRP, or Interledger Protocol, or even Internet of Value, you can't with 100% certainty say that you know Mark Carney's going on about that thing. So in the end, I'm hoping that Trump legitimately just comes out and says that the IMF and this and that and the World Bank and the Bank of International Settlements are using something called the Interledger Protocol. It's similar as internet protocol that you all know as IP address, and they're building an internet of value that allows you to move value as fast as you can move information a day. Trump then said the same shit as me. I don't give a fuck what anyone says. He don't need to say Ripple, don't need to say XRP. He needs to say ILP or internet of value or global RTGS system. And then we're all saying the same thing. They're just going to talk in a little bit of code. Like I say, we come to the end of this year, we get taught that the XRP is going to be added to the basket of the SDR, XDRs, and the special drawing rights. I can't wait then until the next Davos meeting to see what they start saying about the Internet of Value, XRP, and the special drawing rights. Any IMF meeting or anything after that, the future of money speeches from the new Bank of England governor. I've not even seen him. I still say Mark Carney. I know Mark Carney's not the Bank of England governor anymore. I know he stepped down. I know there's a lot of bullshit happening. I don't even know who the new guy is. We're going to have to meet the new guy. We're going to have to see what he says in his new future money speech and all that bullshit. We'll see how he's changed him. This is what I'm saying. Mark Carney might have now stepped down because his job in the Bank of England's done. Some other guy's going to come in and just carry it on. And it's going to be the same with Brad Garlinghouse and Ripple in the end. I'm telling you now. I am telling you now. No problem, Matt. No problem. Morning, Sticky Bud. I've got some Sticky Bud here, mate. Drying out. IMF takes control of 50.1% of the XRP, then reset the price of XRP upward, join XRP with SDR, creating a new ESDR. I said that to Kurt not long ago, and Kurt was saying like he thinks the escrow will be handed to the IMF, and the IMF will then handle the escrow as opposed to Ripple. And then I started saying, well, would they just take it off Ripple? They buy it off them? Will they just start buying it? Can the escrow be changed? This is stuff that like us as cryptographers and that don't really understand. But as far as I'm aware, you set an escrow. It's fucking set, mate. Can't change it. You go on to Zone or the XRPL or anything like that, your ledger, and you start saying, I want an escrow some XRP, and it's going to be like, bro, be careful, because if you fucking do this, there's no going back. There's no going back. So people like to talk about how they can just dump XRP on the market. They could dump 30 billion XRP on the market. Can they? Can they? Can the escrow be changed to just hand the IMF 50 billion? Or will they just start selling the IMF $1 billion a month? And it still takes 12 fucking months for them to get 12 billion of it. And that's at $1 fucking dollar per XRP. So if the IMF are sat back and they're like, let's just 50 billion, mate, like you've just said, and we're going to go $50 billion, not 50 billion in XRP. Right, there's another difference. So we're saying 50 billion in XRP, $50 billion. So let's, for argument's sake, you're going to say $50 billion. So they need $50 billion. So they just need $1 billion XRP sold to them 1 month at $50 each, don't they? Or they need 50 months of 1 billion XRP at $1 each. So like you just said, they'll reset the price of XRP upwards. The IMF could purchase 1 billion XRP off Ripple, completely empty the escrow that month. They've then got 1 billion at what, fucking 200 million or something with the current price. And then all of a sudden, boom, they pop it to fucking $20, and they then sat on 20 billions worth of liquidity instead of fucking 200 million. Within a week, within a big fucking jump in value for XRP, the IMF have then not only increased their liquidity pool exponentially, every other central and commercial bank that was in debt to someone else and was holding XRP has also seen exponential growth and can pay the debt. Is that where we're going? Fucking care. How did you get so? I'm not actually that intelligent, mate. My mum's a microbiologist, and I just question everything. I just fucking question everything, mate. And the more shit you look at, the more your mind opens to more possibilities. When I realised I'm the same material as the wood behind me, I started getting a lot smarter. Everything's connected. Everything's the fucking same. Diamonds is a control market, so the IMF won't hold XRP if the basket is so prone to price movements. I know it can increase as well as decrease. Well, but Oliver, they do it anyway, mate. This is what I mean. I'm sick of it. Not sick of you. You've been influenced, bruh. Still quite young to get away with it. The dollar's not stable, Oliver. The dollar is a fiat currency now in the SDR basket that is prone to price movements, mate. It causes crashes. Go and look at the Triffin's dilemma. I want people to really just like, don't let me say buzzwords like this. Do not let me say Triffin's dilemma and you fucking write it off without knowing anything about it, mate. Do not miss an opportunity. Why am I so intelligent? Someone asks. Because I can't stop fucking Googling shit that I don't know, mate. I never miss an opportunity to make myself a little bit more intelligent. So we're going to go to Google and we're going to be like, well, what does he actually mean? What does Scott actually mean by the Triffin's dilemma? And the Triffin's dilemma is going to tell you why we don't want fiat currencies in that basket and why we need something like XRP in that basket. So when you're seeing it from a point of view from like, well, you're going to remove stable coins and put a volatile one there. It's like, well, no, we're going to move stable coins and put an appreciating asset in its place, mate. A multifunctional digital appreciating asset. It's legitimate, man. It's legitimate. Just go and look at the Triffin's dilemma. Like all the buzzword, any buzzword I say, XDR from SDR. If you don't know the difference, what I've been talking about from the special drawing rights basket, the SDR, right, and the actual XDR, the unit of currency that comes from it. Google's your friend, bro. Google's your best friend. Morning, OG. Alan, I appreciate that, mate. My mum is very smart. And comics. Comics allowed me to open a mind. Like, I believed in the multiverse before fucking scientists did, mate. Well, it didn't, because I believed in the multiverse before I knew scientists that did. Multiverse was within comics. Tried talking to people about it. It was labelled a gimp. I was growing up in a school being called Pratt. It was bad enough. It was really, really bad enough being called Pratt, mate. Like, I did not need people to know I love Superman and all that shit as well. So I kept it on the down low. And it was only with quantum physics that's proper blew it out of water. And I'm like, hey, I can embrace all the mad shit I used to believe in now. Mad sci-fi and fantasy fan, and I pick it all up. I've watched Star Trek countless times, mate. Battlestar Galactica is amazing. Best show ever. Except for Avatar: The Last Airbender. Battlestar Galactica is the best live action show ever. Avatar: The Last Airbender is the best animated show ever. The ESDR stands up. Makes sense. European Central Bank didn't seem to be playing ball until Lagarde stepped in. Top of the morning, Eco-African. I fucking love you, mate. Lagarde. Yeah, it's true, ain't it? She replaced the guy that was going rogue. Yes, Daniel. Morning, mate. Love you, bro. That's a good point, that. Because we mentioned Mark Carney leaving the Bank of England. Where's he actually gone? Mark Carney actually go? Has he? I had him taking Lagarde's spot, me, you know. I honestly, I would have put fucking money on Mark Carney going to the IMF from the Bank of England. I'd have fucking lost, I think. But I'd have maybe had a bet on that. If I'd have been four, someone's like, I'd have fucking bet on Carney now. Where's he going? Where's he going? Where's he fucking going? And I'd be like, well, IMF! IMF! He's going to the IMF! That's what I think he's going to IMF, mate. Right, so quickly, we've got the Shane Ellis and Galgatron theories that everyone likes to go on about. One's a nice little slow step up, one's an overnight fucking bomb in it. I think Shane Ellis is the overnight. Ooh! And Galgatron's gonna go up over time. Excuse me. Any are possible. Now, if you was gonna tackle probability about that, Oliver, could you put in that and in a DNI like this? If we want to go about like how they're going to price move like that, so on one hand, if you need instant global liquidity and exponential growth in value, you want the biggest 12-hour spike anyone's ever fucking seen, don't you? You want half of the world going to fucking bed and waking up in the morning priced out, gone, done, like, oh my God. Like, look at what £100 bought you last night compared to what it buys you now. Oh my God. Like, the world in fucking shock. That's one way. And the best way, if I'm being perfectly honest, to price people out and have it running. Shane Ellis theory, I believe that is. Sound off in the comments if I'm fucking wrong. But I honestly believe like it could go like that and they could do that. But how do they do that? Is it all the billionaires on the fence? All the billionaires on the fence. So are they waiting with orders? Have you searched the order books for some massive fucking orders, either down below or at like $1 and shit like that? And then once it gets there, it's fucking gone. Imagine I'm a billionaire and you're a billionaire, and we've got 5 billion each. But we want to turn that 5 bill each into over 10 bill each. So we're going to risk 2 billion each of it. And I'm going to pit 2 billion of my money in an order book against 2 billion of your money in an order book. And over the last 18 months, we both collect enough USDT or XRP to have a monstrous fucking pool at a certain level. we went in it together. We own it together. You're going to sell it me. I'm going to buy it off you. And we're going to bump. And every fucking order that we get in, it's just driving the price up. So bump, execute. Everyone else in it, and a fucking slippage going up. Everyone else at the bottom, just looking at it thinking, what the fuck's happening here? And it's just two billionaires. Boom. Making the motherfucker run. If they want to price people out in an instant, it has to go some way like that. It has to be almost instant. You can't have instant priced out if it's not going above a certain price instantly. It's just, it doesn't make, there's no logic there. The maths won't add up. It's not fucking adding up in your head. If they want 75% of the world priced out like fucking that, they need a $10 XRP straight away. Like that, one morning, you just got to wake up. Because anything under the all-time high is just going to FOMO people off the fence. But like I was saying today, the billionaire can buy in at $1.50 and still have hundreds of thousands of fucking XRP and still know it's going up to 500 a coin. Do you really think he's fucking arsed about the dollar he missed out on in making sure everyone was out the market before he got in? People, we try to think how rich think, and it's hard at times. It is hard to try and think how they gonna think. So we're at the mercy of the IMF. Oh, this bad the big boy. Listen here, new top dog. No. You're not the mercy of the IMF, Oliver. Central banks are. Global economies are. Doesn't mean shit to you, mate. Doesn't mean shit to you. All we're waiting for all them to sort that bullshit out so we can actually start the stable internet of value, can start actually gaining some growth. They need to go through migrations and all sorts. They need to figure out how they're going to work the SDRs and all that. I believe with DNI, they're going to describe the system. They're going to say, they're still going to talk in code. They're not going to come out and say XRP. They'll say XDR, the UN credit being made by several digital assets. Do you know what I mean? It's so Scott, if Ripple handed them the escrow, can Ripple bid a business, make money on them using XRP? Well, Ripple makes money on XRP at the moment, selling them through the escrow, mate. It's their product. It's their. They created the asset. It's like Jaguar selling a Jaguar car. Do you know what I mean? It's no fucking different, in my opinion. Do you know? People get pissed off on fucking Ripple, right? Just because of the terminology they use. Now, the terminology they use is right. Ripple didn't create XRP. Ripple, the company, didn't create XRP, right? It was gifted it off the people who created XRP. That's true. There's no lie there. The smokescreen is the fact that if you say that to any Tom, Dick, and Harry, the Tom, Dick, and Harry don't actually realise that the people who created XRP actually created Ripple as well. So the founders of XRP created a company and gifted their asset to their own company. Again, it's only like me building a car. I build a car before I've got a company and a logo for the car. Build the car, put some attention on the car. Everyone's like, that car's fast as fuck. All of a sudden, I name it and start selling it. And then I've got a full company that's selling a fucking car. And everyone's like, hang on a minute, that's Scott Pratt car. That's Scott Pratt car. You're like, no, I've started a business, mate. It's fucking the SP Proton. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's a weird one. You can give the IMF controlling interest of the escrow XRP by placing smart contracts on top of the escrow. XRP smart contracts assign the IMF private keys of the 50 billion. That is interesting. Extremely interesting. Isn't that like them giving away their child? It's not really like, no, it's giving away your creation, giving away your piece of art, selling your art, and you can still go to the art gallery and appreciate it yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's like making a bus and then giving it to the council. So it's not only you can use the fucking bus, the council uses the bus and everyone else in the area can use the fucking bus, and you made money off the original sale of the bus. Do you know what I mean? If the bus gains in value, you've got another bus in the garage. It's not giving away your kid. It's a bit hardcore, that. Isn't it 2 billion? Just reduced. It's $1 billion a month, I believe. Mark Carner is now the special emergent to climate change economics. What the fuck that really means? Oh my god. But Mark Carner is now the economic bullshitter. That's what he meant. I fucking keep saying that like that, Tash, mate. Mark Carner is the economic bull. Fuck's sake. The special emissary. Fuck me. Even though they still use that. Fiat's great. Fiat's not great, bro. Crypto's decentralized. Nobody trusts the masses. Yes, Indy in the house. Got Indy Kilo in the house. Quality trader. I've not actually done his course. Not shilling shit. Not done his course. Not seen his course. I've seen his fucking results though. Not only his fitness results, his trading results. Guy's a G. Came to DLT Con. Hit him up on Insta and Facebook, guys. Honestly. It's a pleasure to see you in there. Love you, bro. Now when you finish, is that a Triffin's dilemma? Carl, mate. The only issue with ESDR is if ODL is a means that is that a typo there, Rising? Is a means to the level playing field. I.e. all transactions go through ODL. It's busy. SDR is only used to bail out troubled countries. So the two have different functions. Interesting. This is why I was saying before with your Bank of International Settlements from the IMF, World Bank, United Nations. I say UN credit because it's used in sci-fi. That's where I get it from, sci-fi. So they don't say UN in Star Trek, they just say the credit. But Altered Carbon has a UN credit. And a lot of other things have a UN credit. So that's where that comes from in my head. Now, the IMF's liquidity will be for the central bank. So that's all going to be from the Bank of International Settlement, the World Bank, the IMF, the UN, the G7. You know, like these, like you say, Spain in trouble now, need some fucking coin. IMF liquidity. Boom. Greece in trouble, 2008, need some fucking coin. IMF liquidity. Argentina, Venezuela, IMF liquidity. Give it them. Give them aid. Fucking give it them. Give them aid, bro. They need it. Fucking need it. I don't care whether they're Indian, African, Australian, fucking South American, fucking Inuit at the North Pole, bro. I don't give a shit. Help them. Give them the fucking liquidity. There you go. IMF, Bank of International Settlement. Boom. Buzzing. Commercial banks, exchanges, ODL. That's for you and me, my opinion. That's for everyone in the pyramid. Yeah? The fucking IMF XDR, that's for the boys at the top. Not everyone gets to touch the gold at the top of the pyramid, do you know what I mean? Not everyone gets that high up. But everyone in the pyramid is going to be able to lean on ODL and ILP. Only the central banks and the big boys are going to lean on IMF liquidity. Again, go and have a look at it. It's going to be deep. It's going to be a little bit complicated, but they're ironing it out now. It's the most interesting thing for me is the tracking aspect. Like the only thing about a CBDC, the only benefit of CBDCs is the tracking aspect and the fact that you can't fucking burn it. You have proof of ownership, unlike the IOUs of today. It's going to be an actual asset of value and not an IOU with fake value next to it. 100% Shane Ellis theory, OG's on. I don't know who to subscribe to, but I would have to fucking lean on the Shane Ellis theory, you know. I just don't know how much I expect it to balloon. I mean, I said $20 before in one night. I mean, that might be a fucking jump and a half, wouldn't it? Even that'd be a massive, massive jump. Agora, yo! See, XRP is not tied to the economy of a country, so you can reset it with no economic fallout or damage. Currently, that would seem the case, DNI, but what happens in 10 to 15 to 20 years' time when XRP is pegged to as many commodities and assets as the dollar currently is, and you can actually get some contagion off massive price fluctuations in certain directions? I just know we've got some donations in this channel. Whoever that was, thank you very much. I much appreciate it. Price set lovers, number I got. See, I think there's I don't know about a price set, but I said the other day, I truly believe that there's a bottom. I don't believe there'll ever be a ceiling, a top, that it can't fucking push through that ceiling. But I believe that the ODL corridors, the remittance corridors, the IMF XDR basket, all these little forms of utility that get added to it, I believe they are bringing in a bottom, the order books and the exchanges, the me's and you's. We ain't got enough money to push through utility. We're not big enough whales to push through utility, and the actual whales, they want utility. They're the guys that actually want fucking utility, so they're going to keep buying in before it and keep just filling the bags in the dips. Again, we're speculating a little bit, but morning from Indiana, Jake from the state, Jake the Snake. Put Python away, bro. Phoenix Starborn, mornings. XRP is going to need to be worth a number. Not ever said to me to be a billionaire, assuming I sell. Not along the way. Don't need billions. Just a few or 7 million. That's what I'm saying. They only really need several 10, 20, 30 million each, don't we, mate? But then my man wants 20, and I think my sister deserves 10, and I want to give Sebastian 10, so I kind of like need 100 million, don't I? Greg Brown! Appreciate that little cheeky donation, mate. I've just seen it was used. Give it. I've only just got to it. I'm 5 minutes behind the comments here. Apologies for that. When do I think XRP will pass $3? 2021 next year. You have 2022 in the middle. Migration to it. If it's not happened by the end of next year, it's not going to happen until the end of 2023. Personal opinion, that. And the way I'll give you a couple of reasons for why I've said that. If the IMF come out at the end of this year and say it's being added to the SDR basket, if that pushes it up to $1 at that time, I would expect it to be hitting new all-time highs by the time it's actually added to the basket a year later. If it's not added to the basket, or no one says they're adding it to the basket at the end of this year, you are on the time frame of up to 2023, mate, with a ISO migration. I will say one thing. I believe, and I will be surprised if it's not back up above $3 by the time your pending payment's gone. So just keep looking at your Amazon payments in your bank, and for as long as that's taking 3 days, it's going to be below $3. Once that's back up, once that 3-day payment to Amazon has disappeared, it means Amazon Web Services is using either Xcurrent, the new migration bi-directional messaging, or it's using ILP. At that moment, we're going to be able to start turning around to people and actually showing people that the pending payment's going, and we're getting some instant global settlement. It's fucking running then, mate. I'll be shocked if it doesn't. And the price can just go up just from them pumping it up, bro. Like, it's order book weight. Just order book weight. Like I said before, if you had 2 billionaires with $2 billion worth of fucking XRP, and they set certain dollars, certain orders, they could just throw fucking XRP back and forth to each other on Binance, pushing the fucking price up all the way. And then 3 days later, they've pushed it up 500%, and they've both still got the same amount of XRP because they've just been selling it back and forth from each other. You could have a guy there selling it to his fucking self on 2 separate accounts, mate, using one laptop with his left hand and one laptop with his right hand. Buy price, sell price, match it, boom, 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 and just keep putting the buying pressure, push it, push it, push it. Morning, Gary. Much love, bro. We hope you're well. Fucking hell, Carl. Alcohol's no good, mate. No good, especially rum, bro. Jesus wept, man. Do you drink a bit of the rum? Fair play if you aren't judging, man. Fair play if you do. It's just not the best drug. Yo, legendary! Lieutenant Dane! You got new legs. I want to see that fucking wave. The wave emoji, I can't help but do that. Lieutenant Dane on the Forrest Gump wave. You got new legs. The Quinte. Sony Girl's got a stiffer. Nice. Morning glory, bro. Knock it on the head. Might go away. Oh. Sometimes junior research comes from the same place the value comes from. Yeah. See, that is the be all and end all of it all, DNI. Everything in the world relies on people accepting the value. People have accepted the value of diamonds. Ain't worth that, mate. Fuck off. They're not worth that. But enough. They got to have enough of consensus between the women that the bling was worth that. And now your fucking wedding ring's $5,000 for the shitty one when it should be 50 quid. It should be fucking $2,500 for the shit hot wedding ring, but for some reason it's fucking more than a caravan. It's madness. I'll give you 10 more minutes in that shed before it turns into a sauna. Do you know what? It's pretty overcast. The sun's actually hidden today, so I think I'm gonna actually get away with it. Yesterday was a sauna, bro. Jesus. Right, the theory of the government confiscating our XRP because it's a financial instrument is complete and utter fucking bullshit. And anyone who says that deserves a cheeky little round his fucking cheek and says, shut up, stop being a dick. It's dangerous fucking talking that. That's a weapon. When people start saying things that are actually dangerous to other people's fucking mindset. Weapons. Surely the average Joe can't effectively own SDRs, otherwise it seriously moves. You own dollars, mate. Do you own dollars, Oliver? Because dollars are in the SDR basket. Do you own fucking pounds, mate? Can you buy pounds? Because pounds are in the SDR basket. Got to shut out that kind of FUD and bullshit mentality, mate. They're not going to let you fucking use it. Oh, why? Who's put that in your head? Show me. Let's get him in a fucking octagon. I'll get fuck out of him for charity and we'll feed some fucking Africans. And he gets his mouth smashed in. And he's not talking that shit anymore. BTC of a sometimes your BC is different with a crypto at 5, 10, 20 USD. No, it's higher price because there's market support in the prices. Love it, DNI. Love it. Good eye, Steve. Oliver, me, they can't confiscate XRP. It's not a good idea to do so. They don't want the exchanges to collapse. They can't, exactly, DNI, they can't introduce a new asset for the global RTGS system and then stop people using it. It don't work like that, and that is legitimately just FUD. But for people who've not really looked deeper into it or don't realise the bigger picture from a certain perspective, someone can say, well, they're not, this SDR's for the central banks. It's only going to be the central banks. Commercial banks aren't even getting access to this. So you think you are? You think you're going to be able to hold it? That spanning a certain way is going to make you think, well, shit, obviously they're not going to use that then. They're not going to use that. But then it just needs one more guy in the middle, in the corner of the room to say, hang on a minute, mate, do you even know about the SDRs? Because you're currently using them now, mate. The pound, the dollar, the euro, the yuan, the yen. You're fucking using them now, mate. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? And the guy in the corner's like, I read somewhere that yeah, shut the fuck up, mate. Spreading fucking FUD. Little gimp. We need to change our thinking about the idea of XRP's value. It'll be so much more than a dollar or a pound value. We have a system coming online that will be akin to a system of pipes within a building. Your XRP will be like the water within the system. Exactly, Daniel, mate. That's why I say it's the oil. It's not diamonds, it's the oil. You can keep your fucking diamonds in your Bitcoin. I want the oil, me. I want the digital oil. I want the oil of the digital age. And that is bridge multifunctional digital assets as fast and reliable as XRP. Not just a bridge, not just a currency, not just a store of value, not just an appreciating asset, a multifunctional digital asset. Love it. I love it, mate. I just came in my head. I don't know why. What determines value and how it came to be? It makes me think, who decided what should be called what? Like, why is a flower called a flower and shit's called shit? Why are flowers not called shit and shit's called shit? Who named poo poo? Poo. The fuck? P-O-O? Who decided on words? Like, what made a word a word? Why is it not a blood? Do you know what I mean? Like, fucking, I know it comes from Latin and it's changed and all that, but that amazes me how we got to our like language. And then values just as crazy. How did we actually get to value? How did the guys swapping shells? Like, what was it about the shells that made a guy want to swap some of his sheep wool? Some guy that walked from the beach. Quant the fucking savior. Is Quant still an ERC20 token? Or has it migrated to its own blockchain yet? Because I'll start looking at it if it has. For as long as it's an ERC20 token, it can get fucked. Hello, Paul Shirley. First time here. Pleasure to have you here, mate. I have got a Manc accent. What's your thoughts, if any, on the T-Fuel pump? Is it still worth jumping on board? They have a mainnet end of this month. You need to see how much it's pumped, mate. Expect a little retrace. You know how to use a Fibonacci? Do you know how to use a Fibonacci on a chart? Go to TradingView. Find that chart next to US dollar. Go on the chart, on the hourly or the half an hour or something. This pump you're talking about. Get the pump. Go on the Fibonacci retracement tool. Google how to use Fibonacci retracement if you're not too sure. You're going to start the fib at the bottom of the run and you're going to take the fib to the top of the run. You'll then have regions that it's expected to retrace to before it goes again. You wait for the retrace, you buy in the dip, and then it's fucking off again. Don't buy at the top, bro. If you're telling me, I don't really know, T-Fuel, is it the one that went 180% in the last day or something? If it is, don't buy 180% up. Fib it, look at the moving averages. Notice that every candle, pretty much every candle you'll ever see on certain charts, I like the hour, the 6 hour, the 4 hour, the 1 day, they'll all wick up, wick down and have a body. Next candle, wick up, wick down, have a body. So look at the current 4 hour candle. Has it wicked down yet? Does it look like it's gonna wick down yet? Is there a moving average line there that it looks like it could move down, bounce off the support and then keep fucking running? Because that supports your entry if so. And then set a couple of different entries. Got to think smart about it, mate. But yeah, I have got a Manc accent, and it's a pleasure to have you here. Just keep your eyes on it, Paul. That's all you can really do, mate. And make peace with your entry if you're going to enter it. You know what I'm saying? So if it's a certain price now, it's up 180%. If it now drops 80% over the next day and you enter today, you've got to make peace with that in the belief that it's coming back. You've got to believe in your investment. You've got to make peace with your entries. And you've got to just take your time and watch it. I believe it's got on well and true blue through XRP in my blood. Just like to iron out a FUD. That's excellent, all that. As long as you, I mean, it's okay. It's okay to question stuff, but just make sure the person's not not talking in all that. Look, all yeah. Some of them speak in ways where you just start believing them. You walk away from people thinking, why the fuck did he have such a grip on me when he was talking? What? Greg, bro, mate. No. Thank you. Damn, I appreciate that, mate. And I very rarely get donations on the channel. We get little ones, mate. The master plan video was amazing. Thank you very much. Alison, much love. I fucking love you all for giving the donations. That is that's that. I love yous. Thank you very, very much. You're doing XRP to the channel in the Binance. Is a Binance address there and all that? I mean, don't feel obligated to donate. Live 4999, mate. Love you. We will have our day in the sun one day, guys, and I swear to God, for every single one of you who's been here with me, the minute I'm in a place where I can turn around and start giving people some help, I am fucking doing it. Make no mistake of that. Now, I do understand that a lot of you have got more than me, and you're going to be in that position before me, but we're there eventually. Mank Paul, mwah, love you, brah. Love you, Alison. But, yeah. Much appreciated that. Threw me off a little bit. I didn't know what I was fucking talking about. When I was seeing all them donations, it fucking threw me off. Oh, possible Satoshi wallet. I saw that this morning. What is that? Sound off, comments. Satoshi wallet moved 40 BT. So Binance, what the creators of BT. I seen some Craig Wright. Was it Craig Wright going on about it? I told you I was going to move my finger. Let me get a bit of this up now. We'll have a chat of this. Get that fucking door open. Who said the sauna? You've jinxed me, you bastard. Fucking sun's out now. Look at the fucking difference in the fucking sky now compared to what it was 10 minutes ago when you said that. And I was like, nah, overcast, mate. You fucking overcast, mate. You're not gonna get fucking. It's fucking boiling now, mate. Oh my God. What other coins do I have or do I think will be successful? There are coins I think will be successful that we don't hold at the moment. The coins I actually hold at the moment, a tiny bit of Bitcoin, dust at the moment. But if Bitcoin makes $1 million per coin or anything like that, it ain't gonna be fucking dust then. I'll tell you that for free. A bit of Bitcoin. Jesus, Bitcoin, XRP. Casino Coin, VeChain, Carver. I've still got some backs and BAB. I'm holding them till 2025 regardless. That was a long-term punt, and I still believe in the punt. It was a long-term investment. A lot happened with the project, but basically, yeah, a tiny bit of Bitcoin. We've got some XRP, we've got some Casino Coin, we've got some VeChain, we've got some Carver, we've got some backs. We've got some XLM as well. Thank you to Chiller, and much appreciated. Tiny little bit of XLM. But don't sleep on IOTA, EOS, Chainlink, no other stuff like this. Just because VeChain, say we've got VeChain and we've got no Chainlink, it don't mean I don't believe in Chainlink. It means I've not got enough money at the moment to invest in Chainlink. I envy people with no vices because you can fucking just put all your money on it, you know what I mean? It's like Hezzy now at the moment. My dad, he's buying so much shit online and it's just what I'm shaking. He's buy some fucking XRP, Hezzy. He's not buying fucking all this shit. He's bought a quality little beer pump. But yeah. Oh, check me mum in the chat. Thank you for donating to Scott, making him happy. You wrote that too fast, Mo. You forgot to put him. Or did it make you happy? As long as everyone's happy, it's all good. £3 towards buying a fan for your sauna shed. Love it, mate. I love it. Oh, that was a big bee. They're even getting dehydrated today, the bees. Look out for them, guys. Bit of sugar water out if you can. Yeah, Baz M. Shane, you can't predict crypto like you can the weather. You've been minted. I mean, the black pants are feeling it. I went white vest today, and my body's loving that. But I need some of these. I've got harem pants, so like the the dead bagger harem pants, but the black, and I need a grey pair. It's my birthday June the 9th. If anyone wants to send me some grey harem pairs, don't send them. I'm joking. Pam's still not a mod. My mum won't know what to do with mod, and she'll remove people who call me. I don't, Mum, if I make you mod, don't abuse it. Don't want anyone deleting comments. We abuse bad commenters. We don't delete them so they can hide. Pam is now a mod for the channel. There you go, Carl. You happy now? Oh, gee, son's birthday's June the 9th. No way is it? It's a Gemini like me. Oliver Mead, MC Hammer, kind of did have harem pants, didn't I? Never thought of it like that. Start trying to sit with your legs crossed while doing yoga for prolonged periods and tell me you don't want a pair of these pants, mate. My mum was a mod in the 60s with a Lambret. No, don't talk like he was a mod. And had a Lambretta and that. You're lying for? XRP, XLM, V-Chain, Cardano, Addo, good shout, Cooker. See, you can always miss them off. You can miss them off. Geminis do rock. Geminis are the best. Geminis are the most honest. June the 6th, go Gemini, Alan. Hoorah. My granddad was a Gemini. He's made a 28th Gemini. Coming up, that innit? It's coming up soon. What a man he was. Was my granddad a Gemini with me? I never thought of it like that. May 28th, Gemini. If your birthday is May 28th, then you are a fearless Gemini. The person may have no clue as to what danger it. Yeah, that's why my granddad was a G. Now I think my sister just missed it. I think my sister missed it. Hey, she missed it. Yeah, she's a Cancer, my sister. Just outside of Gemini, Kelly, sadly. But me and my granddad, Geminis. My granddad. That's why my granddad was a G. That's why he was such a fucking epic man. That's why he rocked, Paul. He really did. I've pretty much been kitting it out, mate. I've got my Samsara trapeze in it and that. I put my eating on the wall. I've got an eating and that down there with a lamp and my little Buddha. I'm coming here to draw and stuff, don't I? I'm here to chill out. Not actually done much drawing. Every time I come in here and do my drawings, I'm like, oh, I'm sick of doing drawings on pencils and paper anymore. I don't like it. Now I've learned to digital draw. I don't like drawing on pen and paper anymore. All I used to do is put really, really fine lines on paper and then paint. I used to like doing that. Never really a fan of drawing, but when I learned to digital draw, it's hard to go back to fucking paper and do it now. Casino coin monster if Vegas don't shut down. The thing is, casino coins and all that will always have a place. Gambling's always another place in society, I think, unless it's made illegal by consensus, which I don't think it ever will be. People have got the right to gamble. They just need, the gambling addicts need help. Do you know what I mean? There's a fine line between being a healthy gambler who only risk what they're willing to lose and can lose and can afford to lose, and then there's a gambling addict who's fucking selling his soul just to put another bet on. Don't worry, Scott, you think you're hot? I'm in a bloody loft in Chestnut fixing a boiler. It's like 40 degrees in here. The missus ain't going to recognise. Oh, it's bad that shit, Oliver, but I'd probably rather be in a loft getting paid at the moment, mate, than sat at home wondering where my next job's coming from, but fuck 'em. And I am not letting this pandemic and this bullshit pull me down. I'm not. It's not happening again. No fucking chance. I'm not letting the system turn me into a depressed little gimp. They're not fucking doing it again, mate. And I've got all you here now. I've got people now. 4 years ago, I didn't have this. I've been sat here on my own thinking, shit, where's work coming from? When the fuck am I going to get work from? What am I going to do? What am I going to do? Whereas now, go live. Bam, what's up, guys? Got a community, got people I fucking love. Do you know what I mean? Couldn't ask for anything more at the moment, except for maybe just a wage. I'm joking, but you know what I mean? You'll be 60 June the 9th. Michael, the big 6-0, level 60. Bam! You get some achievements for that, bro. All the unlocks. Oh, mate, when you're at level 60 in the game, that is an epic achievement. Legendary status there, mate. You're nearly prestige. You get a 60-year-old whiskey you're buzzing, aren't you, mate? Yeah, something like that. That ain't old, is it? Oh, I've got an old whiskey here for you. So it's only 60 years old. I don't fucking want that. No, you're fucking right. You want it. It's matured, mate. Yeah. Aged. Ooh. 60 ain't sounding so bad when it's a fucking whiskey, is it, eh? That's what you got to see yourself. That's what you got to flip your perspective. You're aged and matured, man. What a level. I mean, man's level 66, it's all good. Well, pubs are open in Auckland. Damn, I need to nail that New Zealand accent. I can't fucking do it. I'll go South Africa. When I'm trying to do New Zealand, I go South African, you know. Or if I go too far, New Zealand, I'll just end up doing Aussie mod. It's not going to fucking work. I need to sit with someone who's from New Zealand and nail the accent. Just cook them in some fucking eggs. I mean, like, that's New Zealand, but I mean, is it me or is New Zealand and South Africa actually really, really close accents? Or am I doing South Africa ridiculously wrong and actually sound like I'm from New Zealand? I don't fucking know. Anyway. Do I think Ethereum will be a dead project if they don't release 2.0 this year? Enterprise-wise, it's highly, highly likely, yeah. Enterprise-wise. I think Ethereum would have liked to have jumped on the enterprise and would have liked to have had small to SMEs, small to medium enterprise and small to medium-sized businesses. They would have liked them to build ERC20 tokens and to build their ledgers on the Ethereum system. With it being a public blockchain, they can still lean on it, but if they're going to want to build a private blockchain, it's highly likely they go the route IBM and everyone else is going, where they build their own, tapped into Hyperledger for the privacy, also tapped into Ethereum for the public, any public records that they want to distribute or public database. And then it has Hyperledger Quilt for interoperability and ILP. I think you like Matt Farley, the guy who did his house up. Ethereum's got a use case for you, mate. You can make a coin on Ethereum and give it your kid to spend and have ILP, give it you back. Like, do you know what I mean? It can be flipped in the background, make no mistake of that. If you've got your kids going to the shop with Scott Pratt coin, and they spend a Scott Pratt coin at Tesco, ILP sends me the Scott Pratt coin back, or your coin, and you send the actual value to the shop, all automated from your own wallet. So if someone robs your kid's phone, the Scott Pratt coin ain't worth shit to him unless it's been authorized by you to be transferred. Do you know what I mean? That's when you can start loading your kids' wallets with fucking $5-10 a week with just the spends, and they've never carrying around too much money. You load your fucking missus. Your missus can load your wallet with spends if that's how it works, mate. You know what I mean? So Miles, I think Ethereum, it's an interesting one. Like Bitcoin, I don't think Bitcoin's not a currency. It's not going to work as a fucking currency. It's way too slow, but it could be digital diamonds are bragging right. I've got a Bitcoin. It could be store of value, digital diamonds, digital gold. It could be pegged to something else. They could mine in space and sort the electricity problem out and that. There's many ways it could go. as many theories we could have. The truth is we don't really fucking know, mates. We don't know where the Ethereum's going to go or where it's going to end up, but I believe that it's going to be about, yeah. Make digital worlds. Well, at the moment, I'm world building for an animated story. Could become a game, could become anything. Once you're world building, this is the difference. You world build for the possibility to do any medium. It transfers over to any medium. If I write a book, and just write a fucking book, it can have a lot of questions in it. Oh, what happened before then? What happened after then? What happened in between that? Where'd that come from? Where'd he come from? Would that make a good move there? Would it do this? Would it do that? That's off your book. Would the book become a comic? Did Harry Potter really look like Harry Potter in the pages of the Harry Potter book before Daniel Radcliffe brought him to life? Could I, reading the Harry Potter book, have imagined Hogwarts the way it looked in the movies? I'm not sure I could have. World building is where you build the world, you build the Hogwarts, Harry, Voldemort, everyone without really doing the story. Yeah? And Harry can have parents and Voldemort and all this, that, and then you write the treatment within that world of a little story. And then that's your first base story. Off the treatment, what happens, synopsis, small synopsis when you look at the back of a fucking film and it tells you what happens in the film briefly. That's a small synopsis. You'll do a longer synopsis, which is a treatment. That treatment can then be given to screenwriters and screenplay writers and script writers to write an actual script for it, for an animated movie, for a game, for a cartoon, for a live action film. You could write a book from the treatment. As long as you've got what's happening and the world's there. If an animator comes back to you and says, well, what does this character look like? And you're like, there, I've got a picture in there from Photoshop. Looks like that. Roll with it. So when I'm drawing digitally, I can build all the characters in layers and I can group them and stuff like that. Whereas to do it on paper, it's a lot harder. You've got to, like, on paper, you'd sketch in blue. So you'd sketch in a blue pen on paper and boom, 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 boom. And then you go over it in black. Nice and fine line art in black, and then when you'd scan that on the computer, you'd remove the blue, and then you can start painting in between the black lines. And it's Photoshop's a fucking epic program. But yeah, basically it's a lot easier to draw digital, and it makes you never want to go back to paper unless you was already sick as fuck on paper. I was never really that good on paper, to be honest. Bam. So many projects I want to invest in. Just ain't got the Wonga. Exactly, mate. PDF and escrow. Don't be... Right, one thing for sure, one thing though, Baz, right? Don't be down or disheartened if you can only put fucking 20 quid in a project. It's what I'm saying about the Bitcoin dust I've got. Got dust. And you've got Binance, like, do you want to move your dust into BNB? Like, no, I don't, mate, because I want to see what the dust is worth come 2025. So fuck off. What I do something, I'm going to do it. I don't need you asking me every fucking day for what I put my dust into BNB. Do you want to put your small balances into BNB? Well, no, because I'm holding them small balances until the big balance is your weapon. What if BNB? I buy BNB. Fuck off. Look, don't be embarrassed if you sat on... If someone's like, oh, have you invested in any altcoins? And you're like, yeah, I've invested in 10 altcoins. I've invested 200 quid in 10 altcoins. I was like, what, $20 in each of them? You're like, yeah. And some of us aren't got enough to put $2,000 in 20 fucking altcoins. Instead of putting your $2,000 just in XRP, spread it with some altcoins and that. We know there's going to be an internet of value. There's not just going to be one fucking coin. There's not just one website. There's not just one search engine. There's not just one TV provider. There's not just one gas provider. There's not just one electric provider. There's not just one of anything, mate. There's just not. And there's never going to be just one bridge asset. No. There's just one at the moment because it's setting a fucking standard. It's buy Atom, buy Aeon, buy Arc, buy Polkadot, buy POA. Buy fucking every coin you want to buy, Baz. Don't let anyone influence what you want to fucking buy. You want $20 worth of fucking IOTA and $30 worth of XLM. Go and fucking buy them. Seriously, if you're having a night in from the pub and you're saving 40 quid, just invest it, bruh. It's the future. You's from the same area. I'll go and cook him up. Went for a game of snooker in Hyde with Kurt and his mate. Scott went for a game of snooker in Hyde with Kurt and his mate, and he ran off to the fruit machine halfway through the game. I'm surprised. Some of them we got gambling problems, some of them boys, mate. Michael, like, you legitimately went, bruh. Is that, did you meet him in Hyde? Playing snooker with him? I know too many people that like to go out and get wrecked, should we say. Intoxicated. Don't do that anymore, me. I'm not a massive fan of it. I don't judge anyone who wants to do it. But I judge people who get in certain states now, not gonna lie. I try not to judge anyone, but when you're crawling home like I used to, I'm judge myself. From that, I used to live a similar life, getting pissed nearly every other fucking day. So I'm allowed to judge that fucking person. I'll judge you if you're doing it. I'll judge myself. I will tear that old me out. Let's not get started on how much I'll dig into that cunt, because I'll ruin him. Audible person I used to be when on alcohol. Just not me at all. An intoxicated cretin. An aggressive, intoxicated cretin as well. Whoa, 5.5 years in a maxi. Damn. Morning, Craig. That's why Carl only drinks water and rum. Carl, mate, I've got nothing against people who get pissed. I've got something against people who get so pissed they have to crawl home and moan about it in the morning, or so pissed they want to smash someone else's face in, or rob someone else's house, or just be a fucking dick. The people who are getting pissed and are being decent human beings. I've seen pissed up people save people from fucking near death when they're getting battered off another pissed up dickhead. So it ain't them all. Do you know what I mean? I've just been at the football too many times where I've seen it go the wrong way. And I like to say, every time I've ever been arrested, except for the very last time, I was intoxicated. Takapuna! What the? Where's that? Where are you talking about here? I feel left out. My own chat. I did have something up from the Bank of International Settlements, and I've not even read through it. So let's go back to that a minute. And actually get back to some substance of crypto and stuff. The technology of retail central bank digital currency. So retail central bank digital currency, has anyone heard that one before? Central bank currencies. This is the 1st of March report, 2020. Auckland North Shore, Scott. Takapuna. Right, do you know, if I was writing a fantasy story that had Africans in it, but no Africa, would you call the race of people African? Or would you change it to like Afria? You know, you yourself. One of my world building kryptonites is naming stuff, and I don't want to piss people off. You know what I mean? I want to piss races and cultures off. I don't want to like do a Native American people, but instead of calling them the Cherokee, call them the Chikoke. I'm just as an example, would not fucking do something like that daft, but as an example. Or instead of saying Samoan, Sonoan, so just swap the M and N, because there's no Samoa in my world, but I want Samoan type people, Polynesian people. New Zealand, could you just call it Zealand? Would that offend anyone? The Maori, would it just call them the Maui? Would it offend people, or would they appreciate that their culture is used in a fantasy culture? It's like, who do you make the elves? Do you know what I mean? Like, they'll make fucking. It's like, what race suits being elves? It's a weird one. A weird one. Yeah, that's good. Good that, Alison. Everyone likes a drink, no one likes drunk. It's a good way of putting it. I like that. I do like people to enjoy a drink and enjoy the vices. If it makes her happy, you're fucking right. Do you know what I mean? I've got New Zealand in my world. The map is fucking New Zealand, do you know what I mean? But if I call it New Zealand, like, do I call it New Zealand? Do I just call it New Zealand? Or just call it Zealand? Like, or just give it a name that's similar and see if people notice that the fucking islands are actually New Zealand, you know what I mean? Daniel, you was in that stream, you saw the fucking map, it is New Zealand. I've also got a Caribbean island there somewhere, I just can't remember. Vulcans make great elves. Scott, have you seen this? Mate, have you seen the Shannara Chronicles? There's a show on Netflix called the Shannara Chronicles, and it's actually in the future when we've been wiped out by nuclear war, and you've got goblins and all that. And they're watching an ancient fucking TV show. It's Star Trek. And this human's like, we're going to build some great machines like the old humans used to do. And we're going to go to the stars with the elves living together as one. And they press play on the video like, look, we'll show you. And they press play. A fucking Star Trek comes on and it's got Spock and Kirk. And they think Spock's an elf. It is fucking great. It's great, mate. Vulcans are great. That has just reminded me of the Shannara Chronicles, because they're all like, boo, he's living with an elf. And they're like, no, we can live together. Fucking man. Zealandia is a submerged continent. Interesting. Oh, that's the kind of research I need for my thing. Zealandia. Because that is my land then, innit? Because you know what, the mainland continent, I was going to go to Pangaea and then look at what it was called just after Pangaea split. And then I was going to call it what Africa became. But I was legitimately just Afrian, Amerian. Do you know, like if I said Amerian and it was a white person, it's like, yeah, he's definitely American in. But because I'm not calling it American, so people aren't expecting so many American... It's a weird one. It's a weird one. Zealandia. And it's probably because I don't really give a fuck, and people can call me Anglo-Saxon, Germanic. I don't really give a shit. Not Viking. Established that the other day. There's no ginger in me. No Viking in there, but there's Anglo-Germanic. Do you know what I mean? But I might not actually be British. From actual Briton. Do you know what I mean? My ancestors back in the day might actually not be British. So that's weird. When you go that far back, you're like, you're Celtic, you're pagan, or you're Germanic, you're Saxon, you're one of them. Or you're all of them. We're all fucking mixed. Zealandia. Fucking hell, man. Zealandia, also known as the New Zealand continent, or Tasmantis, is an almost entirely submerged mass of continental crust. Gondwanaland, that's the fucking Pangaea thing. Gondwanaland, oh my god. That's what it's called. That's what I was nearly naming the mainland. Or something similar. Gondwara, you know what I mean? Like, legit, yeah. I struggle with names, it's my kryptonite. Yes, John, morning. Escrow can only be changed by consensus. I don't think it... Depending on what kind of escrow it is, as long as that's only written in from the beginning, and you can still have escrows that can't be changed from consensus. It needs to be one that can be changed and one that can't be changed, because some things shouldn't be changing for a certain amount of time, and some things we're going to want to change, i.e. some of the laws that have been implemented recently. We're going to want to change them soon. Pagan isn't a race. Laugh my fucking ass off. Neither's European, mate, but people like to act like they are, don't they? British isn't a race. British isn't a race. Caucasian's not a fucking race, mate. You want to have it? Let's have this debate, eh? 5-star emperor, eh? What's a race? Define what a fucking race is. Come on. We'll have it, mate. Start coming in like that with a pagan into a race. Laugh my fucking ass off. Educate me then, dickhead. Or shut the fuck up. I'll just come in like laugh my ass off. That's dickhead, that. Right? So, what's a race? Explain to me what a race is. Eh? And what's the difference between a Pacific Islander and me when we both look fucking white? Come on. I'm waiting. I'm waiting, mate. Mr. BXRP. Doesn't seem like you want to define what a race is, mate. The 5-star emperor. Not bothering, mate. No, you're going to Google to get the definition of race. You got to get a definition of race. Exactly, Oliver. A race is when two people or things compete and run towards a finish line. Fucking pagan's not a race. I'm staying on this, bro. You fucking opened the right kind of worms coming in that chat like that. Laugh your fucking ass off at me. Pagan, a person holding religious beliefs other than those of the main world religions. Took you a while to get to Google then, mate. Hey, shall I go Google now? Put pagan definition, and we'll get exactly what you've just put in there. A person holding religious beliefs other than those of the main world religions. Have you got an opinion yourself, or do you just sprout shit other people, right? Don't test me in my own chat, mate. You know what I fucking meant. Do you know what I mean? You know what I meant. Is a Celtic person a pagan person, or are they two different people? They're two different kinds of people. You've got ancestry in one or all of them. That's all I meant. And now we'll do what I actually told you to do. Race, it's a fucking competition. It doesn't exist as what you think it does. It's a social construct. If you don't believe me, Google race social construct and it will be explained to you. Anyway, race and society. Shall I say different societies then? Let's say different societies, because I'm the same colour as Jason Momoa, but he's apparently not a white man and I am. I'm Caucasian, but he's not. I'm the same colour as The Rock when I've got a fucking tan, but apparently we're a different race. Apparently I've got roots in Africa, but I'm not African. I'm not trying to be a dick, 5-star emperor. I just like being confrontational occasionally. When we're both right and we're both wrong. There's no right and wrong answers when it comes to race. It's what you're comfortable with. It is a social construct to provide separation and segregation between two colours of people. It's fucking bullshit. It's bullshit. It doesn't and shouldn't exist. We're all fucking human. That's our race. That's our species. We're all humans. And if you want to go proper deep into it, Google the 7 sub-races and the root races, and then you will get a fucking shock. Because you're not wrong. But you are wrong, and I'm not wrong, but I am wrong. So everyone's fucking wrong. It's all just opinions. It's all just speculation, subjective speculation. The only objective take is we're all human. That's the only objective take. Anything beyond that is subjective because of colour and features. It's fucking bullshit. Bullshit. Like, you know, like, what race of dog have you got? What race of dog have you got? What race of cat have you got? Do you know what I mean? What race of rhino? What race of dog? You mean species? No, I mean fucking race. Because when a species is different, which race in it? Why is it race for human but not for everything else? The humans have a little bit of differences, but race, human race, how can colour define a person? It can't. It defines cultures, societies, countries, nationalities, not race. People are talking about nationality. That's what I wanted to get to. Got there. I wanted to get to nationality. Pacific Islander. Is it a race or is it a group of nationalities that are tanned a certain way? It's get me fucking pea shooter out. Or get me pea shooter out, Steve. My samurai sword out. My parangs. It's it's an interesting one, isn't it? Because the races used to be continental. The races. When I was a kid, legitimately, you was fucking white, black, or Asian. I'm not fucking lying, man. That is what it is. You was white, black, or Asian. It was like, then it became white, African, or Asian. The internet in the 90s, anyone in the Americas or anything like that, when was the earliest you heard the term Pacific Islander? Because I haven't heard, I only heard that in recent years, and especially since the internet. Pacific Islander as a race was not in my head until pre-2010. I didn't even, nah, I didn't see them as a different race. Even guys in New Zealand and stuff like that. So Jonah Lomu was a weird one because I didn't see a race of Jonah Lomu. I saw a tanned man. As a kid, I saw a tanned human. Not a fucking black man, not a white man, a fucking tanned human. I didn't really look at fucking colour. I don't know what race. Like, if you'd have said to me, before I heard the term Pacific Islander or anything like that, if you'd have said, what race is Jonah Lomu? I'd have been, oh, fucking not. He's a New Zealand guy. He's a New Zealander. Is his nationality. I wouldn't know. He's a human from New Zealand. What the fuck are you on about? What's his race? Like, as a kid, you'd be like, what are you talking about? Portuguese, is that a race or nationality? Greyhound racing dog. Is a lion one race of cat and a tiger another? Or are they two fucking species? And then, like I said the other day, they don't want to go to a species, I don't think, because they call cross-species mongrels. Ain't no one calling a human a mongrel. You fucking, what the fuck? That makes us all mongrels because we're all mixed race. I said this the other day. I said they only like to call the recent mixes mixed race. So if you've got two parents or two nationalities or two races, you're apparently mixed race now. You call him mixed race, mate? Like, go and do your ancestry thing and fucking calling someone else mixed race just because of the colour of the fucking skin. Go and do your ancestry. You think you're some sort of fucking pedigree, you dickhead. Do you know what I mean? Like, you got a pedigree certificate, you or some shit that makes you more pure than me. Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, what the fuck? Race to the death, hey, we're all interdimensional beings. Like, this is what I mean, like the samsara cycle. Does a KKK guy come back as a black man just for the samsara cycle taking a piss? I'm like, you know what, mate? You hated that race in the last one. Yeah, you fucking stink according to you, don't they? Eh? Fucking this and that. Yeah, go and be one, dickhead. fuck off down there and go and be one for another 60 fucking years. My ancestry is just Scottish. Can't tell a Scot that. Just see a Kiwi. It's an actual Kiwi. Love it. Peace and love all the way from Holland. John sending it right back, mate. Never saw Pacific Islander until about 2K. Yeah, so where did that come from? What's the difference in race? Between a Spaniard or Espanol, Spanish person, Hispanic human, and Puerto Rican or Latino American? What's the fucking difference? Latino, like, what's the difference at the fucking core? Take the language away. What's the difference between Italian, Spanish, Portuguese, Mexican, Argentinian, and all the rest of the South Americas, Brazil? What's the fucking difference? Except for the level of suntan and the language. Do you know what I mean? What's the actual fucking difference? It's blatant ignorance, Gary. Fucking half caste. Oh, that was legit as a kid. It was coloured. The coloured people. And then coloured mixed with a white person became a half caste. Half caste. It's not paper fucking mashy, mate. What? I mean, come on, mate. Like, seriously, what the fuck kind of terms are them? And now it's mixed race. Like, well, we're all mixed. We're all fucking mixed race. He was hard to tackle, Joe the Lobo. He fucking was, mate. This guy's race is Neanderthal hybrid. It is, bro. Better Neanderthal than me. Come round to my house, I'll show you my club and wrap it right around your face. Only if you're aggressive. Can't use the word racist anymore. Just a mixed up bag of stardust. That's a good shout, that, Boo, because we all are actually defined by the blood type. We are matched by the blood type. At the end of the day, it is fucking blood type. Black, white, Christian or Muslim, we all load XRP, level playing field. You got that right, 5-star Emperor, damn fucking right. But yeah, it was a nice thing we got onto there. I enjoyed that. From the fucking pagans, not a race comment. Because people need, we can't be scared of these conversations, and some people be scared to having them kind of conversations. Race is a touchy subject these days, but we all just need to wake the fuck up and realise we're all pretty much mixed race. We're all part of the human race. And the more you dig into spirituality, mate, the more you'll realise that. Well, mate, exactly. You've got people actually calling people quarter caste, mate. I mean, is that how disrespectful is that on a fundamental fucking level? Pretty bad, innit? Like, you quarter caste. Like, half caste bad enough. Agora, like we can go fundamentally to the differences of how it would seem. Well, according to science, as far as we're aware, as far as we've found out, black people have different muscle fibers than white people. It doesn't mean they're a better race in certain aspects of life. It means they have a better genetic potential in certain aspects of life. So if a black person trains really, really hard all their life, they can boost their muscle fibers to the fast twitch muscle fibers, which brings power. Brings a lot of ATP power, baby. Makes some good sprinters. Make some good jumpers. There's a fucking film about it, mate. White men can't jump. White men can't jump. That film could be called white men don't have the fibers. Do you know what I mean? White men ain't got the fibers, bruh. Do you know what I mean? It's like, there was a meme of it, like a white guy on a 1500 meters just dying, and these Kenyans are just like in front of him, and then the meme underneath it, the caption, when you just ain't got the fibers to keep up. It's like, it's true, right? But again, it doesn't mean every black person is going to be an 100-meter sprinter. It doesn't mean every black person is going to be slim and ripped. It means they've got a genetic potential to reach a certain height, right? It also impedes them at times, though, because it gives them denser bones and denser muscles, which makes it hard for them to be fast swimmers. Which... Oh, come on, Scott, get it up. Get it up. It made it hard for black people to win a swimming sprint. I'm not making shit up, I'm not joking. Go and look at the fucking swimmers and tell me how many of the top swimmers over the past century have been black people. They're heavier, they've got denser bones, they've got denser muscles. They're heavier people, naturally heavier, internally heavier, less buoyant and all that stuff, right? It's just fucking science, mate. Which makes it extremely impressive when an African American or African black person wins a 100-meter freestyle. Fucking epic achievement. 1996, she was born. Now, not long ago, 2010, I do my PT course, and people used to say, "Oh, you'll never see a black person win the 100-meter sprint. You probably never see it." Probability of seeing that, it's possible, don't get me wrong, but you'll probably never see it. You'll probably never fucking see it. Mate, she fucking did it. Respect. She got me shaking, mate. She got me fucking shaking. Legitimately, like, because I've got so much admiration and respect for that girl, because I've no doubt, throughout her fucking life and teens, people were telling her how hard it was for black people to swim, how hard it was for black people to win in a 100-meter freestyle, right? To fucking smash that sprint, yeah? Even though black people are genetically potentially built for sprinting, it's still fucking hard in the water, and she did it, mate. She did it. Love that kind of shit. About Chinese footballers, mate. Let's talk about the Chinese ability to fucking abacus. Eh? Intelligence. Can we do some tests without racial bullshit coming into it, to just see if white kids are as capable as them Chinese and Asian kids? And if you've not seen them, they use abacuses from 4 years old. So they start learning the abacus. You move the ball from boom, 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 and they start learning to use that. 4 years old. Most of them, by the time they hit 12 to 13, don't even fucking need it. They just imagine it's there. You can give them any sum you want, and they'll just go, boom. Imagine they're using an abacus, and they'll give you the answer. It's absolutely crazy. Crazy. Never seen homeless Jews. They distribute the money, though, don't they, mate? Love or hate the religion, I'm pretty sure they look after the poor, the Jewish. I'm not Jewish myself, so I don't really know, but it's what I hear. Especially the top hat Jewish with the long sideburns apparently look after their own community, and if you arrive at church in need, the basket fucking gives it, mate. Maybe some of them pastors in America should be selling some of the fucking mansions to do more of that. But yeah, different races seem to do better, or different races. You can't help but fucking say it. It's ingrained into us that we're all different, but which we are, but we're not. We come here to experience difference. But where we come from, we're all the fucking same. We're just a ball of fucking energy. It's a ball of collective consciousness, like a node in the Q collective, like I said yesterday. Fucking hell, Gary. Throw a welly. Do you know, if you don't throw that welly, everyone's going to be like, everyone who's proper strong when the welly throwing, especially underarm welly toss, they all think they're badass and they all put pure fucking power into it, and the welly bows and fucks it up. You just have to go nice, smooth flow and let it go. Don't let the welly bow. We're all potatoes. It's good analogy, that, Ollie. I like that. What happens, Carl, when the aliens come? What happens to your hate, to your prejudice, to your discrimination, to your racism? What happens to all that bullshit when we're all in the same fucking cage in a starship on our way to another system to be slaves? We're all the fucking slaves then, again. Back to fucking 2,000 years, back to 400 to fucking 2,000 years ago, where every colour on the planet was a slave. Every race and culture had the fucking slaves. What happened? If aliens came, it amazes me what had happened to religion if aliens actually came. XDR, UN credit, automatic truth is what we was talking about towards the beginning of the chat. The IMF has a special drawing rights basket, SDR basket. It is the global reserve currencies. I believe they will be deciding to year. If they decide to add XRP towards the end of this year, it will be added next year. I've then got, when the basket is being filled with digital currencies, I think they'll come out with an IMF credit or a UN credit. It's already there, but it's called the XDR. It's the unit of currency that comes out, or the unit of credit that comes out of the SDR basket. Let's have a little Google of them. IMF special drawing rights XDR. Let's go and have a little look. Afternoon, Pablo. Pleasure to see you here. Pleasure to see you here. Do you actually believe that first line you've put there, Golden Lionheart? Aliens ain't real. It's a flat earth created by God. They can't even get to the moon. There's a dome. That's why they did. That's why they did nuke testing in the atmosphere. They wanted to crack the dome. Right. Open mind. Do you actually believe that? Do you actually believe that? What tests have you done to prove it? What tests have you done to disprove the globe theory? Have you not done any of them tests? It's not new news. It's not yet news. Automatic truth. It's speculation. There is an IMF review of the SDR basket towards the back end of this year. It happens every 5 years. Last time it happened, they decided to add the Chinese yuan. The Chinese currency got added to the basket. They decided that in 2015, 5 years ago, but it wasn't actually added until nearly 12 months later, the next year. So it's interesting to see what will happen at this review towards the back end of this year. And then if XRP is going to be added, what happens to the price and the speculation and the FOMO in the run up to it actually being added? Also, what will they come out and say? Is it just going to be a digital currencies added to the SDR basket? Or are they going to come out and actually say it's XRP? So we're just speculating. We're looking at it. We know there's a review coming up. We know last time there was a review, there was a currency added. Right, there could be another currency added. Again, we're speculating and we're saying don't be surprised if they announce XRP is being added to the basket towards the end of this year. That's basically where we're coming from with it, mate. Alien kill the man buns first. Man buns. Fuck it. That's a good job I've got a top knot then, innit? And not a man bun. Do you know what I mean? It's a good job it's a fucking top knot, mate. As long as they don't kill the top knots. So you do believe it? We're running with this now, Golden Lionheart. We've got you, mate. I can't leave this alone. Got a flat earther in the comments, and I'm not disrespect you at all. Call you a flat earther because you believe in it. You call me a globalist if you want. I'm open. But NASA spends billions on helium. Satellites float on balloons. Alright, Paul, we run flat Earth. How big is the dome? Could be big enough for aliens to exist too. We don't know how far out the South Pole border is. Right. Let's wind it back. You think there's a dome above a flat Earth? I'm going to need you to tell me where the dome is and what it's on. Are you trying to tell me you think we're in some fucking snow globe on God's desk? Like, honestly, because that's what you're talking like we're in a snow globe, mate. And every now and then he gives it a fucking shake to mix it up and flood the place. Do you know what I mean? The picture of Earth that Apple used was Photoshop and not a real picture. The guy that made it even admitted it. Nearly every picture from space has to be Photoshop, mate. Otherwise, you wouldn't get the true colours. Do you know what I mean? Like, what colour do you think the sun is, bro? I think it's yellow. Don't say yeah. Don't say the sun's yellow. It's fucking not. It's got to look at the moon. It tells you everything you need to know. It's a globe. The moon's round. I've looked at the moon, bro. I've got my telescope. I've seen Jupiter and its fucking solar system, mate. Jupiter is basically its own little mini solar system. I've got pictures of Jupiter with 3 fucking moons going round it. Where's that in the dome, mate? Explain the sun and moon in the dome. Like, honestly, I'm trying not to ask the questions in a condescending way or anything. It fucking interests me, and I want some proper answers. I want some scientific answers, not fucking satellites or on balloons. Do you know what I mean? Where's the flat Earth? What's it sitting on? What's the dome? The whole universe is a hologram, Carl, but so are you. That don't answer shit. CIA know the universal hologram. We covered that document. That would be pretty funny, that, wouldn't it, Steve? Jupiter's a photo. That's for that. Have I got my amateur astronomer? Right, so these are the pictures I got of the moon. I fucking took these, right? Don't start saying these are fake, mate, because I took these through this S8 and my telescope. That's a fucking moon picture I took of the actual fucking moon. I took them through my telescope, right? Of a global moon. It's a fucking globe. You can see it's a globe, right? You see the craters in it and everything. It's fucking real, right? That is the moon I took. Now that one that's just popped up, not a very good picture there. Let me go to the other side because I'll show you Jupiter. It's fucking fake though, innit? Fake them pictures. Not fucking real them pictures, mate. There's Jupiter and 3 of its moons. Oh, get rid of that fucking glare. 2 below it, 1 above it. The other one up here near my finger. But that's Jupiter. With 2 of its moons there, mate. Like, you're going to tell me they're fake pictures? Are they photoshopped? Is that Photoshop moon picture? I took it myself. How's that floating in the dome? Where's the string? Where's the balloon holding that up? Where? That's not a light, mate. That isn't a light. Nah, the moon and the sun are lights, not planets. And they are not as far as from Earth as they claim. Mate, what fucking... What? That's not a light. It's not a light, mate. That isn't a light. It's there. It's not a light. It's a planet. You can see the rocky surface, the craters. It's not a light. I took the pictures myself. You're running to walls, mate, and you can't explain the simple science. The fucking Earth and Moon or light. Like, explain a solar eclipse, please, if they're both lights. I need you to explain a solar eclipse. And don't fuck about, because we're actually getting one next month. We're getting a solar eclipse and a lunar eclipse. So if they're both lights in domes on a flat Earth, I'm gonna need you to explain that to me, mate. And come and I'll give you 5 minutes to go to Google. What's a solar eclipse? A solar eclipse is where you have the sun here, the Earth's there, globes, and the moon's in between them, blocking the fucking sun. Dark, black, not light, not lit up. Someone turned the fucking light off, yeah. A lunar eclipse, sun, earth, moon. You get the moon in the earth's shadow, and because the sunlight is passing the side of the earth, it makes the moon red. That's when you get a blood moon. Like, you've got to explain that to me. How we're getting that next month. Look into flat earth theory, then revisit it in another show. You'll understand it better then. Do you not think I've been looking at it, mate? It's ridiculous. It makes absolutely no sense. Answer that question I just asked you. Explain the lunar moons to me. Explain a crescent moon, mate. Explain a crescent moon in the flat earth theory. I've not got to fucking look into flat earth. Do you think I've not? Come on, mate. You talking to here? Think I've not looked into flat earth? I'm a science geek. I fucking live for this shit. Like, you think I've not looked into it? Jesus. Quick, Google it. Crescent moon, explain it. I'm going to get one up so I can explain how it's not possible on a flat earth. Because the sun's gone below the horizon. You know, like out of the dome. Was the sun outside the dome and it can go under the earth? Is that what happens? Is that what you're going to say? Is that your answer? It goes under, the sun goes over. Because apparently they go around like that, above it, inside the dome. And the flat earth theory. Drop your pants and show me the moon. Flat earth dome. If I just Google flat earth dome, will I get an image of that flat earth dome? So that's your flat, that you believe that flat earth in a dome with a sun and moon going round in circles, right? If that's true, one, explain solar and lunar eclipse in that model. How does it happen in that model? Solar and lunar eclipse. How does the earth get between the sun and the moon? And how does the moon get between the sun and the earth in that model? And then also, using that model, I want you to explain how that happens. How does that happen? Explain a crescent moon, mate, because the sun is below the horizon for that shadow to form on a moon in the air. So you need to explain them simple, logical questions in a simple, relative and logical manner. Otherwise, don't tell me to look into it when I've fucking clearly looked into more of the science than you. Like, you're just listening to fudsters and all that stuff, and you've clearly not looked at any more science than I have, because it's a check of the lamp. He's just turned the lampshade on, crescent moon, just tilted the lampshade on it. God, still got the light on, but he's turned the lampshade. Honestly, man, I'm not trying to bring you down. I'm not trying to take the piss out of you. I don't want you to think I'm attacking your fucking beliefs or anything like that. I'm attacking whoever's made you think like that without questioning the simple questions of, when you look at flat earth models, we can't get it doesn't explain simple things like crescent moons, like solar and lunar eclipses, which we're going to get next month. You're going to see them with your own eyes, mate, if you choose to. And then explain them with your flat earth theory. Like, you can't. Where's the other planets outside the dome? Come on, man. So where's the dome? Where's the dome? Explain gravity. Like, and logically explain it, like why a planet spheres, what happens at 500 kilometers so you've got an asteroid molding and growing and it's all random shape. What happens when its volume goes beyond 500 kilometers? Gravity pulls it into a sphere, not a flat fucking Earth. So again, give us the different side of science and actually prove it. You're going against an extreme consensus here. No, see, Paul, what most people do when they check shit on flat Earth is compare flat Earth to actual cosmic events we know that happen and actual hard science we know to be true. Do you know what I mean? It's quite simple and quite easy to do. Like, you only need a few people in a few different parts of the world to look at the sky, to do a few simple tests and prove that you're on a globe. I mean, people knew this centuries ago, without the internet and that, figuring it out themselves. Do you know what I mean? And it would appear at first that everything spins around the Earth, obviously. That's what they all thought. They all thought it was crazy till they saw Mars going backwards, and it was like, hang on a minute, why the fuck's that planet going backwards? It went in the sky like that, and then woo, came back, and then fucking carried on. It's like, what? It went in reverse. If you don't understand the solar system model, you're not going to understand how Mars can go backwards in the sky. Go to Google, it's your friend, and stop saying, I have not looked at the science, mate. Again, you're talking to a major science geek, space geek, fucking live for that shit. At 500 km XRP moons. At 500 km, the moons. The moon spheres. I've got to check the fucking battery on my phone here because I've got a feeling it's going to go off. What was we on? Oh, I was on 42%. We had loads. And enjoy this more if you were smoking a blunt. Alan, mate. You have to be on that, don't you? Gravity exists because an apple falls off a tree. Gravity is real. Explain it in your flat earth theory. What causes gravity in the flat earth theory? Right, Paul Shirley. Again, I'm not attacking you. I'm just trying to change your perspective, right? I'm trying to change your perspective. You've just put gravity exists because an apple fell off a tree. Obviously, gravity exists. Can we just come to a point where we agree gravity exists? And if you don't think gravity exists, would you jump off a skyscraper, mate? And if you wouldn't jump off a skyscraper, why wouldn't you? And it's because for some reason you're going to hit the fucking floor, right? Well, we've called that gravity. That force, that mystical, invisible force, right? That's pulling you to the fucking ground, that pulled the apple to the floor, we call consensus. We come to a consensus. You know about consensus, don't you? We're being in crypto, that we came to an overall agreement that we're going to call it gravity. Science then went on testing the hypotheses, the idea that gravity is real, and to explain how it actually works. So an idea that gravity exists, that is gravity. What pulled that down was gravity, is the hypotheses. Now let's test the hypotheses. When you test it and prove it, and you come to a consensus proof that you agree what causes gravity, that's then the theory of gravity. The theory of gravity isn't an idea that we've got. It's a tested hypothesis that fucking passes the test. And we come to a consensus to agree. And I'm sorry, but there's been no such consensus or no such tests done on your flat earth theory, or that lighter didn't fall to the fucking floor, because I'm sorry, it did. Therefore, gravity does exist. It does exist. We can agree it exists because shit falls. Yeah. The next thing to all agree on is what causes it, because it's there. Do you know what I mean? It's the perspective, because that is a full-on flat earth comeback line that you don't want to have the conversation. You just want to laugh at stuff you don't understand, and you just don't understand the theory of gravity, how it actually works. The fact that when an asteroid gets over a certain size, it will crush into a sphere via gravity. It's about mass, volume, weight in space. Do you know what I mean? It's not the fucking dome. Do you know what? Oh, mate, seriously, I'm not attacking your theories. I'm attacking the perspective you've got on theory. It's theory is not a fact. It's just an idea. No, an idea is a hypothesis, mate, in science. A theory is actually a proven fact inside science. Why can you see another continent with a telescope when it's supposed to be below the curve? Look into it. Again, Lorenzo, stop talking like I can go to the top of the Hilton with my telescope and see the Burj Khalifa, because I can't, because it's over the fucking curve, mate. You can't see I can't see fucking Africa from Britain, mate. Show me where I can. Don't talk about tests that haven't been done, that you can see a different fucking continent. Where are you? What continent are you telling me you can see with a telescope? How far have you actually looked? How far has that actually gone? Do you know what I mean? You just come in or look into it. How come I can see fucking Canada from America? How come you can see your next door fucking neighbour, mate? It's right there. Jesus Christ. Why can't anyone on the planet go to a vantage point and see the Burj Khalifa? It's the tallest building in the world. It's over 3,000 feet high, for fuck's sake. Why can't everyone in the world see that building? Flat Earth. Why can't we all see Dubai? Why couldn't I see the Twin Towers from the top of the moors or from the top of Snowdon? Why can't I see the Himalayas, mate? It's 30,000 feet. Why can't I see it? Should be where the fucking plains are. Why can't I see the top of Everest? To the east. Can't see shit, mate, no matter how high I go in the UK. Talking out your ass, using shit that's not been tested. Your hypothesis hasn't been tested and is not a proven theory, bro. Learn science, mate. Seriously. You argue with the wrong guy here, mate. Flat Earth and other CIA psyop to create more dualities and division. It's just to keep the fucking sheep arguing. The Earth is flat. I'm a programmer. So these are the kind of replies I get now when I'm producing, asking for real scientific evidence in your theories in a logical manner. And all you can do is laugh at gravity and put the Earth's flat. I'm a programmer. Future looks bright for your kids, bruh. Flat Earth divide and conquer schemes to keep the sheep alive whilst we rob them. Exactly, Steve. It's just hard for me to imagine someone who gets consensus and blockchain still thinks the Earth's flat. That's where I struggle to get my head around it. Like, how can you see, like, the depth and fundamental possibilities of something like DLT and crypto and get consensus algorithms, but not understand fucking science from ideas, hypotheses to proven theories and facts? It's beyond me. Beyond me. Yeah, some density in what, Paul? Density of what? So you agree with gravity? You agree with gravity, mate. Gravity's got no bearing on the flat Earth. It's got a bearing on a global theory, because at a certain size of mass and density, an object becomes a sphere. It's why some asteroids are still asteroids, some moons are still odd shaped, but if a moon's a certain size, like Ceres is in the asteroid belt, go and fucking look at it, one of the smallest moons in the solar system, is a fucking sphere, because it's reached the size where it generally gets pulled into a sphere. Doesn't mean it's as smooth as a fucking corker when you stood on it. Do you know what I mean? It's still going to have mountains and lakes and crater holes and all that, but it generally will be a fucking sphere, not a flat piece of rock on God's table. No. It's good you try to sound, don't try to sound smart, mate, but you have no evidence like what you're asking for. Explain gravity with evidence, please. I'm happy to be proven wrong. Planet Earth is denser than the lighter. When you drop the lighter, it's attracted to the more dense object. The more dense, bigger object pulls the lesser, smaller object to it, i.e., the lighter is pulled to the Earth. There is your explanation of gravity with actual evidence that the lighter falls. That's not on, it's not being pulled by a string. It fucking falls, mate. What? Evidence. Yeah. And then I've explained, and even, was it Peter or Paul above, has agreed that it's density. So what you want about 2020 vision? I don't understand what you're getting at there, mate, because I've actually given an explanation of gravity regarding size, volume, density, and then I've actually shown that it fucking exists by something falling, something that's less dense than what it's falling to. Without traveling to space, there's not many more tests we can do, bro. And without you believing that there's people actually in the space station actually recording themselves live on YouTube doing tests with salt and whatnot, and the salt clumps, and when the salt clumps, the bigger clumps attract the smaller clumps, and he basically gets a spiraling salt galaxy inside a bag. You're just choosing to not trust that guy, to believe he's a liar, that his scientific methods and testing are all bullshit, and you'd rather believe some guy on YouTube like me who's just going to reference some bullshit flat earth things when, and you're just like, yeah, well, you're just referencing NASA. That's just one big circle, mate. You either trust the guy doing the video who's actually doing the tests, who's actually contributing to the consensus and to the scientific theories and facts, or you believe some guy who's done no tests. We have a choice when a consensus, scientific consensus comes out, mate. You either believe consensus and choose to believe the people who've done the tests, or you go away and do the test yourself. You don't just sit back and disregard it and be like, well, it's all bullshit. That's not the way of doing it. So you don't believe it, but you can't say your way's right and their way's wrong if you haven't done the test. I don't need to do the test when I'm trusting people who've already done the tests. I don't need to go to the North Pole and put a frame over the North Pole with a swinging, spiraling pendulum and swing the pendulum and have it constantly swinging and notice that as the world spins, the pendulum actually moves and creates a geometric pattern that will eventually look like a fucking atom, by the way, depending on the angles that you spin it. But no, that's geometric patterns and bullshit mean nothing, did I? That test is just bullshit, innit? It's not like I've been and done it. It's not like you've been and done it, so it don't fucking work, does it? Mate. So you believe mainstream consensus about the pyramids and the mathematics within the pyramids about the dimensions of the planet being a globe? You believe any of that? I don't see it as wasting my breath, Gary. Like they'll realise one day. Crypto pirate coming in towards the end, though, mate. I'm gonna go in soon and make another brew and that. I was playing Hollow Earth. I subscribe to that possibility. Hollow Earth, when it's said like that, Hollow Earth, you think Earth with no magma, with no core, with no center. Then that doesn't make sense to what we know about how volcanoes are formed and what we know about the tectonic plates and the movement of the Earth's crust. It doesn't make sense. What would make sense is pockets and caves within that crust. Now, again, over millions of years, they will be eaten by the tectonic plates, eating each other and being remerged, but some of them will survive millions and millions of years, if not eons and billions of years. I believe there could be pockets, like Godzilla, the new Godzilla film, it has pockets really, really deep in the ocean, under the Earth's crust. We know how deep the ocean is, you know how deep there could be caves. There could be caves, there could be caverns down there where, maybe not as far as the Meg, where it's only separated by some thin layer of bullshit, it's actually a cave in the crust. We don't know. That is possible. It becomes probability then. Flat Earth, the way we live, the way navigation is in aircrafts and stuff like that, your 360 navigation, longitude, latitude, doesn't work on a flat Earth. People like to put pictures on maps of longitude and latitude lines as if it would work, but it don't fucking work. That's just try to reprogram a sheet that's a solution, and they'll go, oh, well, look at that, and all the other people who won't really look into it will just be like, yeah, well, longitude, latitude will work on a flat Earth, and won't it? It's like, no, it won't. If gravity was real, you would be a pancake glued to the ground, and the bird wouldn't be able to take off and fly. The moon would crash into the Earth. Golden lion art. Wow. So what's pulling the lighter down, mate? What's pulling the lighter to the floor? What's that? What's doing that? If that's not real, why is it happening? Why can't I fly if a bird can? I won't say it's just fucking wings, because nah, should be able to fly if a bird can. Why can't I just make some fucking wings and fly? What's the difference between my density and the bird's density? What's the difference? Why can it glide with wings but I can't? Dropping a light is evidence. Of course it is, because it's fucking falling, mate. You're laughing at apples falling off trees. This is why most people can't debate you. Because you're not taking actual evidence of gravity. If something hitting the floor isn't evidence of gravity existing, what the fuck is? How would you prove the existence of gravity? Tell you what, let's go and jump off a skyscraper, mate. And now don't actually jump off a skyscraper, because I don't want to be a shepherd to suicide. But if you jumped off a skyscraper, you'd hit the floor and die, mate. And do you know why? Because gravity would pull you to the floor and fucking end you. Legitimately. Helium balloon rises because it's the lightest air particle in the atmosphere, so it goes to the top of the atmosphere. Are you telling me it hits a dome and that's where it stops? Or it hits the top of the atmosphere and is just still clung on by gravity? Because it's all, like you said, about density and volume. So the density of that helium atom, an air molecule, is one of the lightest things on the planet. So it is going to go to the outer edge of the sphere of gravity, whereas the heavier, denser stuff is going to stay on the crust. Do you know what I mean? It's 1G. The reason you're not as flat as a pancake is because you was built in 1G. You went from an egg and sperm to an embryo, to a small human, to being born, to a child, to growing up in 1G. You can handle 1G. This is why people say, well, what'll happen if we go and live on Mars? What's a pregnancy on Mars like? These are the questions you should be asking. Not, is the fucking world flat? It's if we go to fucking Mars like Elon Musk wants to, and someone gets pregnant on Mars and they're in 0.3G or 0.6G, whatever it is, like what does that do? What does that do to the pregnancy, to an embryo that's genetically designed to be forged in 1G? It's like trying to forge a Damascus steel fucking sword in ice. Do you know what I mean? It's not going to work. They're the questions we should be asking for science. What G is the gravity on Mars? 62% lower. I was right at 0.3. 0.3 of Earth, so it's 0.3 G. Yeah, because I've not looked into it. I've pulled that number out of my fucking ass. Something else in the solar system's 0.6. And possibly Venus, because them two numbers was prone close to Earth. But 0.3 G, what does that do for a pregnancy? The gravity exists, otherwise we wouldn't know these numbers of G. What's that doing to the guy in the plane where he's like that and he's going unconscious and his face is becoming a fucking pancake? You know, like you're saying, a pancake, because the gravity's going that way. It's pancaking him. Trust me, bro, if we pushed it up to 30, 40 G on a plate that you were stood on, you would become a fucking pancake. Let's not play games. We're at 1 G and we can handle 1 G. You talk like you don't understand G. You don't understand the simple terms of gravitational pull and stuff. You're not accepting scientific tested consensus and theories, man, because you're seeing theory as not a fact, that it's not been tested enough. You just need to look at the more fundamental tests within the consensus. 6 dens I want some. Right, 2020 vision. Are we really gonna sit here and start acting like we're intelligent and smart enough to understand Einstein's equations and shit? Because have you understood them to disregard them, mate? Don't bring that on me. Don't pull that out the bag, bro. Because I'm throwing it right back on you. Do you understand it? What maths do you use to fucking disprove it, mate? You've got a mirror now. Answer your own question first. Before you throw a question like that on someone sat in a fucking shed, right? Honestly, real as fuck now. I'm not intelligent enough to understand Einstein's questions, but as stated, I'm intelligent enough to trust the consensus of all the future scientists from them global scientists, not just NASA. Let's not talk like Elon Musk works for NASA. They pay him to fucking do shit for them. If he really wanted to, be like, I'm not sending another satellite up for you, get fucked. Start building your own rockets again. Let's not talk like we all understand fucking E equals MC squared, mate. Come on. I'm trying, Alison. I'm trying to just pull it all out. It's hard to remember what you've looked at. You know when you try to focus your passions and you try to hold. I'm trying to hold on to a lot of crypto information at the moment and a lot of learning animation. So all the other stuff's right at the fucking back. But this kind of conversation, and especially having the dude to calm me down, it brings it all out. Mainstream says carbon's bad for the earth. It's not bad for the earth. It's bad for the fucking humans, mate. Carbon is what we're all made of, bro, right? There's different kinds of carbon. Like, you'll be looking at the news thinking CO2 is damaging the fucking ozone. Like, too much CO2. No, it's not. It's too much carbon monoxide, CO. We covered this the other day. You've got alarms for it in your house, mate. You've got carbon monoxide alarms in your gas so it doesn't fucking kill you. So it's not bad for the earth, it's bad for you. Like, you need to learn what the fucking trying to tell you. So it's not bad for the earth. The earth will still be here with carbon, mate. It can go carbon crazy. Venus is still there with 400-degree global warming. I'd love to know who had a factory on Venus and who was driving cars on there and shit, because that has ran away with global warming, bro. Venus. Seriously, go and Google it. Google Venus global warming and then tell me who's built a factory on there, because someone must have, because it's gone way beyond what ours has naturally. If that's natural global warming, scary shit. Then atmosphere melts lead, mate. You got to talk about shit becoming a pancake before it hits the floor. But what about lead melting and becoming fucking rain? Google it. Again, I'm going deep in my head here now and I'm pulling out all the shit that I know and that I like and that I've learned over the years. The magnetic field, mate. I'll explain the magnetic field on a flat earth. The flat earth spinning to generate a magnetic field to protect us from the cosmic rays. Godzilla's mentioned in the Bible. It's called Leviathan. The Midgard serpent in fucking Norse mythology and the comics, mate. I'm there. I'm with Hollow Earth, bro. I'm with it. I'm there. Believe it, it's possible. Possible. Yay. Probable. Let's see. Flat Earth. Possible. No, not really. There is no probable with flat Earth at the moment. There's not enough consensus and testing done for me, mate. You talk, like I say, I'm looking at proper science, actual scientists, not just NASA, independent astronomers, amateur astronomers. I've got my own pictures of the moon as a globe, so you can't, like, you're telling me I'm not doing a test and I'm not looking into it. I'm taking pictures of celestial bodies through an S8 years ago, mate. Don't tell me I've not looked into it. Now, the deepest hole, 8 miles, the part chart, they apparently heard frequencies down there as well. I mean, so if you read a news article about it, it'll say, they heard demons and spirits and all that, which, hey, maybe. But the earth frequencies, it's probably the resonance of the earth's core below, and the closer you get, the louder it'll get, because it's fucking ball of hot iron magma core rolling around while it's fucking every metal that the fucking earth produces, basically, even to the point where all the gold and platinum and all that was produced in the star that we came from is all moving around in that magma, making its way to the surface over time. They'll be hearing the frequency and resonance of that actually happening. Ain't no flat earth. Why can't gravity pull down helium? It does. At the very top, it doesn't escape the planet helium, Paul. It goes to the top of the atmosphere. Is what it, like, right at the top. It's one of the lightest. Again, Google it. The weights in air molecules. You yourself was there with density and stuff. Again, golden line art. Go and look at something in orbit. It's falling so fast it doesn't fall. Again, when you say it like that, it sounds fucking ridiculous. But it's to do with, what do they call it? Like exit velocity. To break away from gravity. The exit velocity, it's around, like, I think it's about fucking 20,000 miles an hour or something. Pulling numbers out of our ass here, we need to check. That was pulled out my arse. I'm surprised it's close. Earth's exit velocity. It's 11 kilometers a second. I want it in miles per hour. $25,000 miles per hour. Wasn't that far off. 20,000 miles per hour, 25,000 miles per hour. That's to escape gravity. So if that helium fucking atom starts rising at 25,000 miles an hour for some reason, it will escape the gravity. And again, right, this is what I want you to do now, the flat earthers of the group. Not only Google gravity, but Google this as well, like escape velocity. Google the Wikipedia, and if you've ever questioned Wikipedia as something anyone can update, because quite frankly you can, but just do yourself a favour, when you're reading through it, and it's like the escape velocity of Earth is blah 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 blah, and then at the end of the paragraph it has a little number 1. See that little number 1 there? Move my finger out of the way so things like number 1 in brackets. If we go to the bottom and click references, boom, there's number 1. So that's the reference where they got that from. So the fundamentals of spacecraft charging, spacecraft interactions with space plasma, Princeton University Press, page 240, ISBN, blah, 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 is an actual document from actual scientists. So you can go and actually chase the source and actually go and look at where they got that information from and where they came to that consensus, how they came to that consensus. So when you're talking to someone who you think doesn't look into things, yeah, I think you're saying that to the wrong guy, mate, because I do look into things quite a bit. And I'm off in a minute. It's fucking hot in here now. Oh, Brady Neals, you are, mate, but apologies. I'm about to go and get some breakfast and that. And chill out. I'm getting hot in here. I'm starting to get a sweat on. See on my shoulder. It's becoming a sauna. Yeah, if it's a flat earth, how many people fell off the edge? Flat earth needs to do research on cause effects, really understand what it is. Why hasn't the space vacuum sucked out Earth's atmosphere? The point of space and Earth cross the line? Well, because as established, gravity is holding on to the molecules, mate. You only get a certain distance, and you have to be travelling a certain velocity to break away from that gravity. So something in orbit that's going above 25,000 miles an hour is going to stay in orbit because gravity can't pull it back down. If it drops below 25,000 miles an hour, it's going to start going into a lower orbit, mate. And if it continues to slow down, it's going to come back down to Earth because of gravity. You speed up, it'll go to the fucking moon or eventually wherever you want it to. Go and play Kerbal Space Program. Do yourself a favour. Go and play Kerbal Space Program. That'll teach you how to break away from Earth's gravity. You'll have to actually build the machine yourself, and it's got real world physics, mate. So I'm telling you now, unless you turn off damage, and unless you turn off there's a few cheats you can do. Turn off damage, turn off heat on re-entry, turn off heat on exit. Otherwise, every ship you build will blow up, and not one will get out of fucking orbit or make orbit. And if it does, it's burning up and blowing up as it comes back in. You want to know how impressive it is to send a satellite up there. Never mind the spacewalks and all that that's possible on it. Go and play Kerbal Space Program, mate, and then get back to me on escape velocities and orbit and stuff like that, and it floating on balloons. Because that's real world science, mate. Anyway, we'll pick this conversation up, but on Love for Media, mate. Go and subscribe to Love for Media. Excuse me. And I'm more than willing to carry this debate on, and I'll produce some evidence next time when I've got time to do a live stream on it. I'll produce some actual fucking evidence and credible sources from scientists that are not NASA funded, shall we say. Yeah, I'm Oscars because I'm dripping. Everyone wishing you health and happiness to you and yours. Stay safe, stay happy. You know the dance. We love crypto, we love XRP, and we love you. If you've only just joined the stream, rewind it if you want to watch, unless you want to wait for YouTube to process it, because they'll stop it in a minute and process it. But yeah, flat earthers, get on the other channel and we'll continue it, because I'll never talk about flat earth again on this channel. Just telling you that for now. It's not coming on it again. But I'll debate on the other channel, no danger. Love for Media, just not on the crypto one. Peace.